I heard the other day, 20% of all meals in the United States are prepared by a restaurant. 2% are delivered.
We think this is going to be the next catalyst for the growth of this industry. And we want to empower like the neighborhood store, the neighborhood restaurant, to some extent to be even able to out Amazon.
I think it is pretty cool to imagine how automation, robotics, AI are going to start to make it possible to build, that physical twin to the internet.
The real world
Yeah.
can just kick your ass. And
Humbling, yes.
and I think that one of the things that kind of brings these teams together culturally is we operate in the real world.
Welcome back to the factory, Dara.
Thank you very much. Very excited.
Do you want to share the news while you're here?
Thank you very much, Keller. So we are very excited to announce a partnership with Zipline, between Uber Eats and Zipline, that involves an investment, and more than that, a partnership for Zipline to power home delivery. Our goals and ambitions are huge. We want to get to 1 million deliveries a day as soon as possible.
Yeah, we're super excited. I think it's a crazy inflection moment. I think that obviously we're living in a world where AI is accelerating and now robotics is accelerating. You can get anything delivered to your home in 10 to 15 minutes. I don't think this partnership would have been possible a year ago, but it's possible today because the technology is ready to scale.
And what we've seen is that on-demand delivery of anything to your home in 30, 35 minutes is already something that is delightful. More and more people are using it. All of e-commerce is kind of moving there. We think that 10 to 15 minute delivery time, that is going to be kind of next level.
Okay, so now that we are, that we have this ambitious vision, we're going to launch as quick as we possibly can. Why does it matter for the world?
So one is whatever vision I have in 5 years will be totally untrue because the world is moving so quickly. Autonomous technology of all kinds is really changing our business, whether it's like AVs and working with partners like a Waymo or Nuro or Baidu, et cetera, autonomous vehicles. And that's going to be a huge shift for Uber, and we're investing a lot in partnerships there. But I actually think that our partnership and the power and the capabilities that you bring can be even more revolutionary for the delivery business. Because if you think about AVs, it's kind of the same thing, right? It's not a person driving a car, it's a computer driving a car. Yes, it's going to be safer. You'll have privacy, et cetera. But in some ways, actually, the computer driving car, it's a little slower, et cetera. There may be a trade-off, although it's a delightful consumer experience. When you get to delivery by drone, one, it's great for society, reduces congestion, electric, better for the environment, et cetera. But you're moving what has been and continues to be a delightful experience, which is get anything delivered to your home in 30, 35 minutes. Like, clearly people love that. Getting that to 15 minutes, I believe, can open up an enormous next leg of delivery, whether it's food or retail and everything to your home. We only designed our fulfillment systems that way because of the necessity of the time.
Yep.
We're actually seeing in some other countries, in India, Middle East, for example, the quick commerce segment that's so much younger than the classic OFD, online food delivery, in 30 minutes, quick commerce in 15 minutes. It's already eclipsed kind of 30-minute delivery. We expect to see the same thing. So we're very excited. We think this is going to be the next catalyst for the growth of this industry, which is already growing at crazy rates. So we're psyched.
And I heard the other day, 20% of all meals in the United States are prepared by a restaurant. 2% are delivered. As people change their behaviors, you can see a massive opportunity to kind of like expand the overall market, save people time, deliver like amazing experiences, amazing food to people who wouldn't otherwise have access. There's so much growth that still has to happen here. I mean, it's amazing. You mentioned that Uber Eats is now about half of Uber revenue, I think, and yet 2% of all meals delivery is 2% of all meals in the US. It just makes you realize like it's 12:01 a.m.
It's amazing. And we've talked to a lot of our restaurant partners in the early days when we introduced Uber Eats. There was a fear of, hey, is this going to be cannibalistic? And what we found is 80+% of the volumes are actually incremental volumes. They're new customers. It's the convenience and the timing, allows people to have their time back. They don't have to make their own food, et cetera.
And particularly for those restaurants, it might be a single location. They can now reach 10 times as many customers via instant delivery as they could before the partnership.
Yeah, and we want to empower like the neighborhood store, the neighborhood restaurant, to some extent, to be even able to out Amazon. I really do think that this can be can put a lot of power behind those neighborhood restaurants, small businesses that are the core of like what's made America great.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it's like how the internet moves information. We can now build a layer that moves, packages in the real world as quickly as we move information on the internet.
When you just change the definition of a service, and I think this truly can change it, safer, faster, environmentally friendly. You're not using like
Quieter.
a 3,000, quieter. You're not using a 3,000, 4,000 pound cart to deliver a 10 pound, kind of dinner package. So it's much more efficient as well, if you think about it.
Yeah, we always try to think about like neighborhoods, like I think neighborhoods are a good unit of scale to think about, which is basically like, is this going to be good for neighborhoods? I think that perhaps more technology should ask themselves that question. There may be some examples of ones that needed to ask sooner. And we really felt like, hey, the only way that this kind of new layer of infrastructure can really scale for humanity is if it's better for neighborhoods in every way than the way we were doing it before.
And I think drone delivery and what you're doing allows this to be just as delightful service, in downtown New York City as it is in the suburbs of Milwaukee. And for us, like universal access to these services that we're building is super important. I think for technology generally, I think having technology be a benefit in everyone's lives, regardless of where you live, what your, economic condition is awesome. And I think that is a part of what this alliance and this partnership can offer. And we're actually seeing it live on Uber Eats as well, which is the fastest growing segment for us is actually the more affordable segment, both in terms of the kinds of food served, the neighborhoods that we're delivering to, and to the extent that we can continue on that theme and make it more available to more people, regardless of your demographics, regardless of where you live. I think it can be a total winner. Why did you start this company?
I mean,
was it were the transfusions like, this is awesome, but it's a step in a commercialization road, or is your definition of success changed as kind of you kept building the company?
We always thought that, it would be possible to build an automated logistics system for Earth. And the thing that motivated us about that is like, we could kind of tell, it felt like technology was ready to do that. And, that if you could succeed at that, you could build the first logistics system that serves all people equally. And obviously, delivering things faster, less expensive, you save time, you save money, and you ultimately can save many, many lives. And today, Zipline across the countries we operate in Africa saves 17,000 lives a year.
Wow.
Been able to reduce maternal mortality by 51%. But there was also, a more practical reason, which was like, that was the only place that would allow us to operate and like actually do this for the first time. And Zipline had to prove that we could get to 150 million commercial autonomous miles with zero safety incidents, which is where the company is today.
Phenomenal.
It took that to get the regulatory permission in the US.
And for, I'm sure there are a lot of folks who might be watching who are in the tech industry, and building cool tech is awesome. But a lot of technology companies, they build tech within the digital sphere. The digital sphere can be unpredictable, but it's a controlled environment. It's a different environment. The real world can just kick your ass. And I think that one of the things that kind of brings these teams together culturally is we operate in the real world. Like real life can kick you in the ass, whether it's unexpected weather events, whether it's traffic within cities, et cetera, traffic patterns. Like that is one of the things that really makes what we build exciting, unpredictable. It keeps us on the edge of our seats. And I think you guys are like the next level.
I mean, there are 5.5 billion, maybe 6 billion instant deliveries being done in the US in a given year. And what is crazy is that we are currently seeing customer behavior amongst the early cities that we've launched, where if you were to extend that customer behavior to the rest of the US, there would be 50 billion instant deliveries a year. And so I think it's making the exact point. You totally change the way that people live their lives when you can design services that are faster, more convenient, more reliable, safer. We used to, if I wanted to send you information, like I used to like write it on paper and put it, send it on horseback. Now it's like, I'll send you an email. I think it is pretty cool to imagine how automation, robotics, AI are going to start to make it possible to build, that physical twin to the internet. You can move things around in the real world as quickly and efficiently as the internet moves information.
And I would say like the one of the things that Uber does is it gives people their time back. And time is the only kind of commodity. Like you may lose money, you can make it back, right? If you lose time, you can never make it back.
Yeah.
Right? There's only a one-way door as it relates to time. And I think if we give time back to people and in the same way, support local businesses who have access to a larger and larger market, something we could be proud of.
Well, I guess the last thing is, we really appreciate you believing in us. Zipline is this like ragtag band of pirates and rebels and engineers and entrepreneurs.
We used to be one of those too. So we've been there. It's pretty cool.
Cool. All right.
Thanks.
So I'll show you the rest of the factory.
Let's roll.
All right, let's do it.